and there are all kinds of things on it. So there are the ancestor sticks that we both have. There are images on our shrine of people who have crossed over that we knew and some we don't know. And we have, like, you see all of these items up here came from my ancestor shrine, some part of my ancestor shrine. All of the images and everything else came from the ancestor shrine. So, and I have a whole family. I have this doll I made that represents my patriarchal line, a doll, a female doll that represents my matriarchal line, and I have something that Tisha and I share, which came to her first. There's an ancestor that came to her named Frida. And Frida was an escaped slave who lived in the swamps of Louisiana. And Tish channels Frida. In ceremony, she has channeled Frida. And we were out in Hawaii teaching a workshop. And I had a kind of good relationship with Frida before this trip to Hawaii. And during that week of doing ceremony, we were with Starhawk and some other women from a lot of different places. Tish channeled Frida. And it was really beautiful. It was very wonderful. And as we were going forward during the week, on another day doing a different piece of spiritual work, Frida wanted to come talk again. And Tish didn't want to know. Because it takes a lot of energy when Spirit decides to speak through you. And she did not want to go through that again. So guess who Frida decided what she was going to speak through? Yes, she chose me. And ever since then, Frida and I have been much closer. And since that time, at varying times, Frida comes and she lives in my house, on my shrine. Okay? And then other times she goes back to Tisha. Okay? Right now, Frida's at my house because she wants some new clothes. Okay? And I need to get her new clothes. We have a ceremony coming up, a public ceremony coming up November 6th, which I'll tell you all about. And she wants new clothes before November 6th. So guess who's going to either go find some money, beg some money, or do a little bit of sewing so that Frida has some new clothes on November 6th when people see her again. All right? But she lives at home with my ancestors there. They made this family because the dolls that I made are like younger than Frida. Frida's like the grandmother. They're like the couple, and then there's a baby. This is the baby. She came by herself today. Okay? She never gets to go anywhere by herself. So she was real excited when I picked her up and told her, asked her, did she want to come? And she said, yeah. Okay? And the reason why I brought her is because sometimes we forget that there are children who have died and that they are ancestors too. Okay? And we want to remember them. Especially children who died. We want to remember them and uplift their spirits, especially if they died in uncool circumstances. You know, we want to remember them and let them know that, you know, we wish the best for their spirits and everything. And so that's why I always have a baby on the shrine. And then there's my mother, and that's her hat, and other folks. I have this image. This is I have a friend who's a doll maker who helped me make those big dolls, but she makes dolls all the time. And this is a Native American doll that she made. And I keep something on there because my mother told me that we were part Paiute. And I was like, okay, Mom, because I never heard that from nobody else but my mama. Okay? Of course, that came through her mama, so, But anyway, so when I was making my matriarchal doll, what happened is that the doll, this is not the matriarchal doll, that doll is at home, she stands about this high. The doll asked for a rabbit skin, And I went and I bought her a rabbit skin. She wanted to wear it on one shoulder and everything. And it was very interesting to me, and I said, oh, that's real interesting, you know. And I got it and everything. And then I got some information about the Paiutes, and it turned out that they wore rabbit skin. Well, I would call that confirmation of information. Okay? Which was very interesting. So I always have something on the altar to represent the Native Americans. I have fruit up here for them because it's one of the things you want to